If you want to get your content discovered, you have to think about creating more content for discovery-based platforms. We're going to talk more about that in this video and how you get the visibility that you are looking for. That's a common theme on this channel. So if you want more visibility and revenue, make sure you subscribe for more videos like this one. So when it comes to creating a content marketing strategy that actually gets you discovered, it's important to focus on those discoverability platforms. And a discoverability platform like YouTube and Instagram, notice it's not just social networks. I'm using YouTube and Instagram for this example because those are two platforms that I talk about, and those are two platforms that I am utilizing right now to grow my content brand. So a discovery platform is pretty much a place where you can promote the content and bring in your own traffic, and then an algorithm like a YouTube algorithm or an Instagram algorithm will push your content to people who previously had no idea who you are. And being active on these types of platforms and consistently creating new content for them is going to be vital for growing your content marketing brand. Now, it's important for you to still do stuff on your own website because that's your own home on the web. And the only downside with something like a YouTube or an Instagram is there's a lot of other creators to choose from while the website is just you, but you're not necessarily growing to the same degree posting on a website versus posting on YouTube or Instagram where the algorithm can pick you up. You do have Google SEO, but that's a lot harder to rank for in comparison to something like a YouTube or an Instagram. And instead of just creating content based on whatever feels the most sense to you, do some keyword research. I mean, SEO on Google does take a little longer, but the concepts of ranking a website for SEO are the same ones you have to think about for getting more visibility for a YouTube video, an Instagram post, a Medium article. Ranking is everything. And having the keywords and knowing what people are going to search to find you is vital because that's going to help you with ranking your content. And it's this research journey that a lot of people don't think about. But when you do get to the stage of thinking of the keyword research and figuring out what makes the most sense, a lot of people also forget to bridge their content. So the biggest mistake people make is they just create content on all these different platforms without it really having it connect with each other. So instead of just creating content on all these different platforms, think about how you can bridge them together. So on YouTube, I like to talk about my Instagram. I have the Instagram handle up on the top. That's a way to bridge those two platforms together. I do a lot of IGTVs, and in those IGTVs, I promote some of my YouTube videos. So I am bridging the two platforms together that way. And I'll take past recordings of podcast episodes or snippets and incorporate them in the strategy. So that's another bridge. And all of these bridges are so important to make because when you grow on one of them, that's when the true discoverability and you gain massive visibility, that's when that happens. So let's say you have Instagram, YouTube, and podcasting bridged, which pretty much means they're all promoting each other. People from YouTube go to your Instagram and podcast and vice versa. So let's say now that your YouTube channel blows up because one of your videos got a really favorable traction with the YouTube algorithm, and now your whole channel is seeing all this extra sudden visibility. And with that, it's not just going to be YouTube that wins because people are going to go across the bridge to your Instagram. They're going to go across the bridge to your podcast. And that only happens when you meaningfully connect all of those different options within your content. So the more planning you put into your content creation, the more meaningful of a splash you can make when one of your pieces of content gains traction on a discoverability platform. And by focusing on multiple, so not just YouTube, but like YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Medium, podcasting, by focusing on multiple and creating all these different bridges, you increase the likelihood of one piece of content getting discovered. So one thing I talked about in a recent video about why I think IGTV is such a great opportunity, I talked about how at one point I did 2 daily YouTube videos, and that hurt my channel because that was just too much for my audience at that time. So instead of just not creating 2 videos a day, I do 1 video on YouTube a day. I do 1 video on IGTV per day, which gets repurposed to Facebook and LinkedIn. So I'm doing a video a day on a lot of different places, and each of those videos gives me an extra chance to get more love from the algorithm. So the interesting thing about this is it could be something you created months ago that wasn't gaining traction when you first published it, and then all of a sudden it starts to spike. That's what happens on some of these success journeys. And once you get one spike, you get all people walking across all the different bridges, and then that allows you to see extra traction on your IGTV or on your Medium or on your podcast. And then that extra traction triggers those algorithms to promote not just the pieces of content that are gaining traction, but all of your past stuff as well. So that is the foundation we have in place here to create the discoverability you would want to have for your business. So all that's left to do is to create that initial momentum. And once you have the rest of the system in place where, once you have the initial momentum, everything kicks in, people are crossing all these different bridges, then that's how you get the massive discoverability. But it's important to have it in play where if you went viral tomorrow on YouTube, are people going to cross over to Instagram? If you go viral on Instagram tomorrow, are people going to cross over to your podcast the way that you would want them to? So building up all these bridges now sets you up for massive visibility later on. And that's a key to gaining the discoverability you would want. Now, if you do want to gain the initial momentum, I have done videos on this before. I also have my Content Marketing Plaza course linked below in the description. But when it comes to gaining that initial momentum, the key thing there is going to be relationships, who you know, and just sharing each piece of content with your audience, like all of your different platforms. And then you're going to see some momentum. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential today.